What is going on, guys? It's Jerome. I'm back at it again with another episode of NBA Kicks, the show where we count down the 10 best sneakers in the NBA every single week of the season. Remember, guys, new episodes will be dropping every single Wednesday, so make sure you're locked in and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. This week at the number one spot, we have something that I think we have never ever had in the history of the show. And if you guys were watching last week, I think you guys are gonna be surprised at the number one spot as well. Or maybe you won't be surprised because you did your homework. But either way, I know you guys can't wait to see what the number one sneaker is. So let's get straight to the list. Week 2 of NBA Kicks starts right now. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Steph Curry with the Curry 11. Now, I actually interviewed the entire Golden State Warriors team, including Steph Curry. And in that interview, I got to see Steph's 11 signature silhouette up close and personal. But during that interview, Steph actually complimented my shoes, which I thought was kind of interesting because I wasn't wearing a pair of Curry's. I know I probably should have worn some, but I told Steph, like, hey, I hoop in all of your shoes, so I don't really have a pair to just wear outside the basketball court, which he totally understood. True story. Now, as far as the Curry 11 goes, it's exactly what you would expect. A low-cut model with a textile upper and flow technology. It's a tried and true formula that Curry brand has ran with for the past 4 models, which isn't exactly new or exciting, but if you drop a black and red colorway, I can't resist. Oh, and as a bonus, Steph also warmed up in a Flocho version of the original Anatomic Spawns, which I'm not sure anyone asked for, but still pretty cool to see. Under Armour is getting retros. Man, does time fly or what? Next up at number 9, we have Kyle Kuzma with the Puma All-Pro Nitro. So personally, I'm not a huge fan of shrouded sneakers. The Reebok shrouds, the Kobe AD NXTs, the Jordan 34 SEs with the shroud, they all just don't work for me. The only shrouded sneaker that I'm a fan of is, of course, the gloves, but those make sense because Gary Payton's name was the glove. Now, at the same time, I know that there are a lot of people out there that love shrouded sneakers. So as a show of my impartialness, let's talk about the special edition All-Pro Nitros. Now, these are dubbed the Childhood Dreams and are a collaboration between Puma and Kyle Kuzma, which helps inspire kids to reach for the stars and make their dreams come true, and sports a royal sapphire upper, which of course is shrouded. Like I said earlier, I am not a fan of shrouded sneakers, but let me know in the comment section below, are you team shroud or not? Coming in at number 8, we have Jaylen Brown with the Nike GT Cut 2. So here we have our first custom of the season, and it comes from Jaylen Brown, and it uses a technique that I don't think we have ever seen on a custom sneaker before. The base of this custom is the ever so popular GT Cut 2 from Nike and features a scaled metallic gold upper as well as a drip design, which we usually see going down a sneaker, but here we see it going up. It's kind of like an anti-gravity drip, which in turn gives these shoes some drip. See, I told you guys, the dad jokes are just spewing out of me at this point, so that's something we're all gonna have to get used to. All jokes aside, these are our first customs of the season, and it's a unique one as well, so that is way more than enough to qualify for the list, and hopefully it won't be long before we see the next pair of customs on NBA Kicks. Next up at number 7, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Zoom Freak 5. Giannis Antetokounmpo makes his NBA Kicks season debut with what you may think is his version of an on-pro colorway, but really isn't. This all-pink colorway is actually inspired by Giannis's daughter Ava, which you can see with a tag right above that massive swoosh, which I personally really like. The Freak 5 is an overall simple silhouette, but that massive swoosh is a very nice feature visually, Although I will admit I do kind of miss the signature reverse swoosh design that was a staple in the Freak line previously, but who knows, maybe Nike has given the reverse swoosh belt to Travis Scott and instead has given Giannis the big swoosh belt. Next up at number 6, we have Kevon Looney with the Anta KT Splash 5. So while I was interviewing the Warriors, out of all of the players that I talked to, Kevon Looney was by far the most fun. So while yes, I am now officially a huge Kevon Looney fan, I'm still trying to remain impartial here. And these KT Splash 5s are not only visually appealing, but they're also festive as well. This colorway is apparently inspired by Halloween, even though I am having a hard time finding the connection. But if we just ignore that for a second, this silhouette has some striking features, with the most striking being that intricate loop strap design on the midfoot, which has to be one of a kind. While the KT Splash 5s from a top-down point of view looks very similar to something like the KD 7s, overall these are an extremely unique looking sneaker, and this colorway is excellent as well, with shades of purple and pink, all flowing in a beautiful gradient design. But if you're wondering what made Kevon Looney my favorite player to talk to, let me just say that he's a super low-key guy that really genuinely seems happy to be wherever he's at, even if that means being in a small room answering questions he's answered 100 times before with somebody that he's never met, which would be me. Next up at number 5, we have LeBron James with the LeBron 7. Last week, we featured LeBron's latest silhouette, the LeBron 21s, but this week, the King is taking it back to the good old days and pulling out an all-time classic. During his game against the Orlando Magic, LeBron went deep into his closet and pulled out the FAMU LeBron 7s, which are inspired by the Florida A&M Rattlers with a black, orange, and green color scheme, as well as a Rattler logo on the tongue, which looks absolutely incredible. The LeBron 7s are one of the all-time great LeBron sneakers, so it's great to see them back on the court, especially in a limited edition colorway, which may or may not have been influenced by LeBron playing a Florida-based team. Either way, you gotta love it when the boys rock the classics. Next up at number 4, we have Anthony Edwards with the AE1 from Adidas. Last week, Anthony Edwards took the number 1 spot with the debut of his first signature model, which I am 100% a fan of. And this week, he's back at it again, this time with the new colorway. This colorway uses a black and orange color scheme, which is a pretty solid makeup. However, I am still waiting to see this silhouette in new colorways because I am a huge fan of its design. So far, we've already seen the AE1 in a handful of colorways that all look great, but I'm still waiting to see what these would look like in an all black or even an all red. And I'm also waiting to see if Adidas has any collaborations lined up in the future, which should create some very unique looking colorways. But as they sit right now, we're gonna have to settle for these somewhat basic colorways, which still look incredible because again, the AE1 has such a visually striking design. I'm still curious though, where do you guys stand on the AE1? I saw some of you guys in the last episode talking about how it just looks like a Yeezy silhouette, which to me is fine because the Yeezys are always extremely popular. So let me know what your verdict is on the AE1 in the comment section below. You guys already know where I stand. These are a must cop. Next up at number 3, we have Scoot Henderson with the Puma Stewie 2s. Now, Scoot Henderson does have his own signature silhouette with Puma, which we did cover last week. But this week, he's rocking another Puma signature athlete silhouette, but that signature athlete doesn't play in the NBA. In case you didn't already know, these are the Stewie 2s from Puma, and they are the official signature silhouette of Breanna Stewart, the MVP of the WNBA. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it is absolutely incredible that we are seeing a shoe designed specifically for a WNBA player in the NBA. While the Stewie 2s were designed specifically for Breanna Stewart and female hoopers like her, it's still a shoe that just anybody could wear. And I think That is awesome. Just like this colorway, which uses a flame upper alongside hits of yellow and black to round things out. And of course, we've got Brianna's logo on the tongue and heel, which I gotta admit is pretty solid as well. I'm just happy that we're finally getting products made specifically for female hoopers, because I think that's a step in the right direction to make the game of basketball even more popular across the globe. But now if we could just have a unified rule set and the same size basketball across all genders, that would make basketball truly the perfect game. Like seriously, why do girls play with a different size ball than men? Like, I don't get it. That way when the girls come play with the boys, they're using a different ball. It makes no sense. I'm team same size balls. What about you? Coming in as our runner-up, we have Talen Horton-Tucker with the Jordan Zion 3. So oddly enough, Zion is not the one rocking this colorway of the Zion 3s this week, but Jordan Brand did hook up Talen Horton-Tucker with what I think is the best colorway of the Zion 3 that we've seen so far. This colorway, dubbed the Sanctuaries, is inspired by the stained glass windows of the sanctuary that Zion trains in during the off-season, and sports a stained glass window inspired upper with an array of vibrant colors, as well as black hits to round things out, which in turn really allowed those vibrant colors to pop. I think that the texture on the upper works in tandem with that stained glass window theme, and overall, like I said earlier, I think this is the best colorway of the Zion 3 that we've seen so far, and I really do hope that Zion himself gets a chance to rock these on the court. Also, if you guys haven't seen the marketing material for the Zion 3, you should probably go check it out, because it's, it's weird.
Even if I land awkward, the shoe gives protection to where I won't feel all the force from that awkward landing.
Finally, at number 1, we have James Harden with the debut of the Harden Volume 8. All right, guys, I think I'm losing my mind here, because I don't think we have ever seen Adidas take the number 1 spot in back-to-back episodes in the history of NBA kicks. But it just proves my point that Adidas is starting this season absolutely on fire. During his season debut with the Clippers, Harden started things off with a bang by debuting his 8th signature model, which maintains the futuristic yet retro look and feel that the other Adidas signature silhouettes seem to be using this season as well. I've actually been wondering myself lately if rocking basketball sneakers off of the court is gonna start making a comeback. And with the silhouettes that Adidas has been dropping this season, that very well may be a possibility. Overall, the Harden 8s are a silhouette that are very hard to keep my eyes off of, as they draw me in with their futuristic look that again reminds me of the Adidas sneakers that I grew up wanting as a kid. They have that very early 2000s feel to them, so cashing in on that nostalgic feel while at the same time maintaining a trendy / futuristic look, that's a really tough act to balance. But it seems like Adidas has figured things out this season, as we officially crown the Harden 8 the best sneaker worn in the NBA during week 2 of the 2023-24 season. How about that, guys? Adidas took back-to-back number 1 spots to start off the season. The question now is, can they complete the three-peat? Make sure you come back for next week's episode, which again airs next Wednesday. Make sure you're subscribed and locked into the channel so you don't miss and see whether Adidas can complete the three-peat or not. My name's Jaren. It's been great having you. Catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.